Hi, everyone. Larry Bailey. I am very thankful that you guys chose to come today. Today's a really special day for me. We're going to let other folks come in. So the order of business today is to really talk about something that's been on my mind for quite some time. So I'm going to save some stuff. So everybody who's coming today, what I'm going to show you and release to you is hopefully something that's been going to be helpful for you. One of the things that I've been doing over the last 20 years is compiling a lot of information in my head. You guys probably do the same thing. You may use OneNote, you may use Quick Links, you may use different resource centers, you may use one of the communities that I've built over the years, and all of that stuff. So yeah, so out of all these things, and I'm just so you know, I'm going to go ahead and remove any automated note takers. So if you're trying to allow for that, I'm going to not allow that. If you have any questions, by the way, if you have any questions coming through, feel free to use the chat that is in there. Feel free to use Q&A. Feel free to raise your hand, whatever. All right, we're good to go. I think we're 1 minute in, so everybody who's here is great, and this will be on replay anyway. So what I want to share with you is kind of a story, just to help you understand why we're doing this Mastering Encompass AI Helper. The impetus behind this was getting something that was not ChatGPT, getting something that was actually a closed environment, so the information was trustworthy, and being able to scale it as big and wide and as deep as I wanted it to go. And so what I've been able to do is put together a resource that not only sources all of my recordings that I've done, not only through YouTube that everything's now posted on, sources all the private recordings that I have through Mastering Encompass, from all of the admin training that I promote and record, from all the user training that I record and promote. In addition to all that, then I've also went out and grabbed everything that was publicly accessible from ICE, and put this into one natural language model machine that allows you to ask it questions naturally and get answers back. When I showed this to ICE Mortgage Technology earlier this month, the general reaction was, wow, this is why we love you as a partner, because you're always thinking of really cool stuff. I've given this resource to other students of the Mastering Encompass program, and I've also given it to some clients to play with. And so I want to share it now with you. And at the end of this slide, you're going to have the link to go get it. It's there. There's a QR code. It's an unpublished link out there, but it is public. So you're able to use it and share it. And so here we go. So let's go ahead and share that right here. Ta-da! So what is this thing? It's an AI engine that exclusively has Encompass information. It's not open to the internet, and it allows me to make sure that the information that it's thinking about is contextualized, and it's still learning. It's a very young engine. What you're allowed to do on here is type in this space. We've got some predefined questions in here. There's only 4. But it allows us to basically give you a clean space to come in and ask questions. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I'm absolutely passionate about making sure that everybody's got the ability to get to the information the same way that I have over the last 20 years of using Encompass. I want to basically create a shortcut so that you know where to go to find stuff. And that's what I've been doing. I'm really working on this problem now for a very, very long time. And what I've done in the meantime is I built out this engine. It's about 38 million words stored right now. I expect this to probably 3x, maybe 4x over the coming months as I get more and more validated data into this model, so that you can use it and you can hopefully get information that you wouldn't normally find. Right? It's a resource. It's not going to be a magic wand. It's not going to do your homework for you. but it is going to learn how it can be useful for you. So some things that I've put across it, and these are screenshots, and then we'll go into the live environment so we can all play with it live. So what it basically does for you is if you type in a natural question, it'll give you a natural response. And one of the things that's helpful is that it gives you these citations, these little numbers right here. Well, they're all over the place. And the reason why this was important for me is because I wanted to make sure that you could understand what was the source of the data. We know that one of the hardest problems that we have using Encompass is making sure that the information you're looking at is current and it is in context with what you're looking for. So when you do come across a response and you have a citation up in here, at the bottom of that is a response that basically allows you to find the sources. In this particular case, this was a message that, or a video rather, that I shot. You won't find this on the internet. It doesn't exist. And what and this is just one example. This one happens to be actually a resource coming from ICE, not from me, excuse me, but I have shot videos on personas, and they do come up in the responses. So at the bottom of that slide, at the bottom of that response here, you'll always find these citations so you can figure out what's going on. What else can you do with it? You can do cool ChatGPT stuff that you're used to. You can have it check code. And so in this particular case, I just threw in code. And the response that it's giving you, it helps you understand if you're using a correct syntax. We did one of these live today in the Mastering Encompass Open Q&A that we hold every Monday and Friday for half an hour. In that particular example, there was a math problem that we were solving for, and it helped the team member understand the use cases for safe operators, and gave them a good example of how to correct the code using the safe operator. So it'll give you this information. It'll give you a response. You can go ahead and click the copy. It'll bring it back over. So if you've used ChatGPT for this kind of stuff, you should expect mostly the same, except the information that's going to come in here is going to understand the fields. If you ask it for a field syntax, it's going to actually understand Encompass information a little bit deeper than a publicly available resource. It'll also catch typos. So if you type in something erroneous, it's going to give it its best shot of understanding. And this is the kind of thing where, again, you just can't necessarily get this outside of a closed environment that understands context. So that all these kinds of things are available to you to really play around with. Where we're headed with this really is as a training resource. So part of what we can do with this engine that we're developing for some companies right now is taking this information and translating this into a training resource so that if you have help guides or training guides or general guidelines, you can actually throw them into your specific instance of this engine and have it pull out information that is meaningful for you and your company. So if you could imagine you've got whatever you're using for your internal wiki, it's now natural language searchable across all of your internal documents. And as you change your documents, you can pull them out of the engine and put them in. We support you for all that. Nothing for you to do. It's a simple flat fee, regardless of how big your company is or how much you use this. If you're interested in that, let me know. So it gives you information that it knows, and the citations are listed in there. And as I showed you a moment ago, the citations are at the bottom, and you can scroll through them and simply click them. It'll bring open the information on your browser. Some of the things that happen throughout, of course, is that we have updates. So obviously we've got the Encompass web version coming out with some updates on December 7th, as well as 24.3 desktop updates. So one of the things you can have it do is have you come into here and ask it simple questions about what's in the release notes, those kinds of things. And in this particular query, we had 9 resources to pull from, which again, that's a huge value of what this offers. So plainly, what's it cost, right? How do you get it? That kind of a thing, if it's interesting to you. Good news is free for December. Basically, I want to give it to you, use it, do whatever you want with it. Give me feedback on it. After that, we're setting the price at $99 a month. again. You log into it. It's going to be behind a paywall, so you log in and use it, and use it for what you want, when you want, however long you want, no contracts, that kind of a thing. So that'll let you go. Also, if you're included in one of our Mastering Encompass training and coaching engagements, it's included for you. It's part of the deal. So you can go ahead and check that out and see where that works for you. Also, if you've got any client project engagements with Mortgage Workflow Partners, it's also included. And for today, again, it's a quick demo here. It's not that deep, but what you want to do is you want to try it out and pass it around. Share it with anybody you want. It's absolutely open. There's a QR code. So if you're one of the attendees today, I'll be sending you an email. So you'll have the direct link. But basically, it's Mastering Encompass /AI-helper. And we're going to go to that site here in a second. I'm going to ask you guys to throw in chat, if you would, any questions that you have that you want to ask the engine. So basically, we'll come over here. We'll go over to Mastering Encompass. Again, if you come here, you won't see it. You just need to throw a little AI helper down there. So AI-helper. It'll bring you to this page. So these are the screenshots that I saved. And as we go through, this is what it looks like. Here's the code pasted. Here's what you saw in those screenshots live. Here's the persona thing I showed you. Here I asked it a question, detailed steps to configuring compliance review setup. And it's giving you all of that information with the citations here that you can find. Could you find that information on your own? Sure. How quickly can you find it? That's another story. I asked it how to set up HELOCs. It gave me some responses. I asked it about construction loans. It gave me some responses. Asked about buy down loan setup. Gave you some responses. And then, of course, moving to the web talks about that information that it knows. So while we're using this, obviously you can go, here's the code, by the way, that I was describing earlier today. So this was the code that we were managing. And obviously there's a problem here with the syntax. You just can't do that. So the engine was slick enough to actually understand that response. It also understands what fields are. So it understands all 34,000 native fields in Encompass, so it can help you search for fields, can help you understand what their pieces are. And if you come across an error, like in this particular case, we caught a bootstrap error on a particular thing, sometimes it's just not going to know. And that's okay. If you get a great answer, give it a thumbs up. If you get an answer that you don't like, give it a thumbs down. We're recording this stuff on the engine side, and so we'd love to get your feedback. Amy, thank you. I know Amy Blum's been using this. So certainly feel free to jump on and start using it right away. Tony asked, can we search Maven errors on this and get some compliance help? That's a really good question. Do you mean like header codes, Tony, or do you mean like generalized things that are happening in Maven, right? It's a great question. Yeah, if you think anybody thinks of like an error code, you can do one of two things. I can show it on screen here, or list of Maven errors. I have no idea what this is going to give us. Like these are not staged prompts. So, it gives you a list of compliance reviews. So here's a video. Here's a good example. Here's a video. So as you click this, it'll come up. And this is from a pre-recorded video I do for Mastering Encompass. So that's the kind of response, actually, it makes me happy because it's giving you a video walkthrough. Amy wants me to type in SecMan 644. Oh, yeah, that SecMan thing. Oh, geez. I can't even do chat that quick. Hang on. Let me just type. SecMan, where am I? 64? So you get that error on there. Let's see what happens. So fails, doesn't know. It needs more information. It's saying feed me. So that's where I would give it a thumbs down, and we can see what that response is so we can figure out how to teach it better. Sarah asks, can the code checker help us convert our IB macros into JavaScript? Yes, it does, Sarah. I actually tested that. So if you have, I don't have any input form builder code. Wait, maybe I do. If you guys have input form builder code you want me to convert on the spot, throw it in the chat. I don't have any off the top of my head. Sorry. That's a great use case, Sarah. Check it out. Let's see. Mark's got a comment in there. This is close. How do I okay. So Mark gave me a Mark Squires gave me a prompt here. So gives you also the link for advanced coding business rules if you don't really know what you're doing, but it does give you the steps in there. It's not actually generating the code, Mark. Great one. Great one. Only one N. Oh, I got the prompt wrong. Thank you. Thanks, Amy. Don't trust me to type things. That's why I use AI, right? It still fails. It's a little no. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, and Mark gave it. So this is an important thing too. Like sometimes I'm watching the model actually give different people different answers. So in Mark's case, he actually got the code. So here's on a screenshot. Can I do this? There. So in the screenshot, it actually wrote the code out for him. So then you can click copy the code, advanced coding if necessary. So listen, that's why I'm excited. I want everybody to use this out for, use this for for yourself, use it for your own, share it around, see where it goes, see where it takes you. And again, it's masteryandcompass.com/AI helper. Feel free to use that as much as you find. If you want to get that over there, you can. Again, for those that are just joining, the only thing you missed was the cost. So I will go back on here and tell you that it's free for December. Use it. What's going to happen on January is we're going to put it behind a paywall. And, if you're paying for it, great. If you're not, and you're not part of one of our client engagements or you're not part of Mastering and Compass cohort, you'll just lose access to it. Sorry. Stuff's got to get paid for. Got to keep the lights on. Anybody have any other questions? I appreciate everybody coming today. Mark said it wasn't accurate. Yeah, I definitely, if it's me, so here's my use case for this thing. I'm looking for information and I don't remember what a setting is good for. So what is compliance review for? Right? And why would you type that in? I'm imagining that you've got somebody who doesn't really understand why we have certain things or certain settings. And so what it helps you understand is not only some basic summaries, but then also directs you to the actual document right in here. So if nothing else, it shaves off time. Now, again, as I said earlier, for those that weren't here, one of the things that we're doing with this is taking this engine and iterating it into your own, and we're adding in things like training documents, investor guidelines, GSE guidelines, things like that, where you can actually start to ask it intuitive questions about trying to find things. One client in particular, we're using that to help on TPO side, help underwriters actually find loan programs that contain specific information like DTI maxes, LTV maxes, things that you might use for maybe AllRegs, right? AllRegs is ridiculously expensive and valuable, right? There's a cost for that knowledge. They've been around forever. I'm looking to shake things up, and this is where I'm starting. And I appreciate you guys coming today. I know you could have done anything else. I appreciate you coming today, and I'd love to get your feedback on it directly. Tony says we could have an AUS search for overlays too. Yes. So absolutely. You can add in, Tony, if you know you have all your investor guides and you want it to understand things in a way that's specific for Equitable, yes, you can. And if you're interested in figuring that out, let me know. Sarah, thanks for the feedback on that. You're welcome. Use it. Warren, I'm glad you're liking it. I think it's ridiculously incredible. I kind of rail against a lot of AI stuff in technology on LinkedIn socially, because there aren't really practical uses for what's being used right now there's no AI. To me, this is doing two things. This is understanding what it's been fed in a closed environment, and then it's also regurgitating information that's easily digestible, but then most importantly, giving you the reference links for you to go do your own research. That's what was really critical for me to make this public announcement. I wanted to make sure you always had clear knowledge of where this information came from And then you can go, like, again, click it, boom. Could you find this on your own? Sure. How quickly? I don't know. But that's where the information's coming from. Yeah, Sharon's gotten some help on this. Sharon had a situation with a closer. Closer came up and said, why is this loan behaving this way? And a minute later, they had an answer, and the file was able to move forward. If we upload our internal docs, are they viewable to our, so a couple of really important things. So Tony asked a really important question. If you're interested in having this for your own company, yes, it is actually this engine in its own environment exclusively for you. It's really important. So I do not believe in shared resources for this. This is really important. So Tony, for you, if you wanted to do that, yeah, let's talk, because I can create this engine. It'll be your engine, exclusive to you and your company's access to wherever you want it posted. You can do it on your own internal SharePoint site, or you can do it on your own website, or just, a general URL. And nobody else will have access to it unless they're coming through your domain. And that's why this only works on masteringencompass.com, by the way. You're welcome. Carrie, you get access to the free trial by going to this QR code. Put your phone up to it. That's one way. Or you can just go to masteringencompass.com/AI-helper and go use it. Month of December, wide open, free for all. Go beat it up. Go look for information. I'm going to continue to feed it, right? We've got new updated release notes that I have to go feed it. TPO got some new release notes for 23.4. We got new release notes for web that got new features that has to be added in there. And I'm going to start feeding it some use cases also. Some internal docs that I have. It also can do, I didn't even search for this, but like show me, check this out. Show me business rules for HMDA. So so what I was looking for is, I actually loaded in here business rules that you could download. That's what I was trying to get to. What HMDA business rules do you have? So that's where this is going. Like, I intend to add in business rules that I know work, input forms that I know work, all that's searchable and downloadable. That's going to be some business offerings. HMDA business rules you have in zip. See if it finds it. Nope. I got to figure out how to make it understand that. And so this is part of my challenge, is to work with it to see what you're using it for and how you're using it. But ultimately, it is an engine that we manage, and we can, hopefully get it to do what we want it to do. So I think that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for coming. If you have any questions, I'm here. But other than that, enjoy, get over there, check it out yourself, and let me know how it goes. Yeah, like Chris, for you, because you just signed up for Web Essentials, it's included. Like, you won't, you paid for it. So Sarah, thank you very much. Michael, you're very welcome for sharing. Jeannie, you're welcome. And the rest of you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Bye now.